Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Unai Emery officially announced yesterday as the Arsenal manager. If you didn't know that, what planet do you live on? And as I said yesterday, I think it's been a great appointment. I think that the Arsenal fans are very happy by this appointment on the whole. And, I was down at the grounds yesterday and I was speaking to a few fans down there and they seemed very pleased by it. Being interviewed by the press down there, and as I said to them, I think the majority of Arsenal fans are happy. The majority of fans did not want Mikel Arteta to come in. Nothing against Mikel Arteta, and potentially in the future he could become a great manager. But at this moment in time, Arsenal needed an experienced head, Arsenal needed a winner, Arsenal needed a motivator, and this guy seems to tick all of the boxes. And in his press conference yesterday, he spoke very well. He spoke, again, we were being told that he barely can muster a word of English. He did his whole press conference in English. Of course, it's not perfect English, but for his first press conference to be brave enough to do it in English, I thought was fantastic. And I love, there was a tweet yesterday by Mr. TT. You know what he's like, he's all over these things. He said that his Unai Emery's English is already better than Harry Kane's. I thought that was absolute genius by him. But spoke very well at his press conference and spoke about his vision alongside Ivan Gazidis. And he said, "It makes me very proud and it's a great opportunity for me to grow. Success this season will be developing, but how? By battling for every title. That's in Arsenal and my history, and I want it to continue. I want to be among the best teams in Europe and among the elite. I also want the team to make the fans proud of the side. They are already, but even more so." And I thought to myself, it was a very, very good press conference. And, he said all the right things. We know talk is cheap. We know at this stage, he say all the right things. But he came across as a very impressive guy. He looks like a manager, doesn't he? He looks like a guy that is ready for business. And Ivan Gazidis also speaking at the press conference and talking about how, this was their guy. He said that there's been lots of people out there speculating on this and speculating on that. But basically they didn't know what was going on, And, this was always, once they met him and he impressed them at his interview, they were always going to go with him. So it's great. It's great that, Arsenal have taken him on board, and I am more than happy with this. And it moves now, though, to Ivan Gazidis and the board. Are you going to give him the money to get the job done? And it's one of the questions that Ivan Gazidis was asked. And his answer was, we don't discuss our finances publicly, but we run ourselves on a very clear and transparent model. Anyone who wants to look at our accounts can do so. All of the money has always been available to our managers, and that will carry on. And that's a bit worrying, because if it's been available to the managers, either they didn't spend it or you ain't giving them enough. And this reported £50 million thing that's been going around, I would have liked him to have come out of that press conference yesterday and said, this stuff about £50 million is rubbish. Maybe if he said, we're not going to tell you exactly what the funds are going to be, but he's going to have enough funds to bring in the players he needs. He didn't say that. He kind of done what Ivan Gazidis does very brilliantly. He was the politician and he swerved the question. The attention turns now to the board. Are you going to back him? This is your man. You claimed he's your man. Are you going to back him with the funds to bring in the right players in this summer transfer window that will propel Arsenal back into challenging for the league? It's all right, the guy's speaking words and it sounds great, but we want to know, is the board going to back Unai Emery? And certainly loads of targets are throwing up at the moment. And one of them that's been thrown up is Adrien Rabiot. And this is one that's been mentioned a lot. Adrien Rabiot, PSG midfielder, very talented, 23. We've been after him for a while. but he ended up staying at PSG, and he's done very, very well. There's been this big fallout in France with Adrien Rabiot because he's very, very unhappy at being left out of the French national squad. Ironically for Steven Nzonzi, another guy who used to play for Unai Emery, but he's been left out of the French squad. And what's caused a lot of fuss over there in France at the moment is that Adrien Rabiot has refused to go on standby. So he's been put as a standby player and he's refused. He's basically said to Didier Deschamps, the manager of France, no way, I ain't going on no standby. If I'm not in the team, forget it, I'm not playing. And that has got Didier Deschamps really angry, and a lot of people over in France angry, saying that, you know, he's kind of thrown his toys out the pram. Apparently he's a bit unhappy with PSG because he's saying that, you know, they didn't play him enough last year, and the rumours are he's up for a move. And Unai Emery, obviously, as the person that's been managing him, the links are heavy that he could come to Arsenal. At the moment, it's lots and lots of speculation. Even though he's out there and people are putting 2 and 2 together, I think it's lots and lots of speculation at the moment. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. What about Steven Nzonzi, though? He had a great season at Sevilla. He's back in the French squad. He's the guy actually who's gone in instead of Rabiot. Could, you know, he be reunited with Unai Emery? Unai Emery, of course, you know, knows him, would like to have him. And as I said, he had a great season. He was previously unsettled at Sevilla, but he had a great season. Could he be a guy that could be on his way to Arsenal? Certainly, he could be that player that could solve that defensive midfielder problem. And he's played in the Premier League before under Stoke City, so he'd know the Premier League. But again, speculation. Another guy that this one seems to be a lot more than speculation is Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno, goalkeeper, plays for Bayer Leverkusen, 26 years of age, really highly thought of over there in Germany. He's in the German national team at the moment for the World Cup. Really interesting developments yesterday at Bayer Leverkusen because they bought a brand new goalkeeper, Lucas Hadeke, from Eintracht Frankfurt. He played really well, Hadeke, in the cup final where Eintracht Frankfurt beat Bayern Munich. He's a top goalkeeper, and there's no way he's been signed to go to Bayer Leverkusen as a number 2, you know, because he's a goalkeeper that could have went to many other places. He surely would have had guarantees that he's going in as a number 1, which means that Leno must be on his way out of Bayer Leverkusen, or maybe Leverkusen realise the fact that they are going to have to sell him. There's been lots of clubs interested in him. Napoli have been interested in him, but apparently Leno has already rejected a move to Napoli. There's also, of course, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid, 2 other clubs really interested in him. Now, apparently it's boiling down now to a choice between those 2 clubs for Leno. Of course, Atletico Madrid have got Jan Oblak. So would he want to go there and play second fiddle to Oblak unless Oblak's leaving? If not, he'd probably be looking at Arsenal. Sven Mislintat has already identified him. He knows that if he came here, he'd be the number 1. He's going to be above Cech or whoever stays between Cech and Ospina. He'll be in front of those 2. So that could be a very likely signing at Arsenal, that Bernd Leno could be coming in as the brand new goalkeeper at Arsenal. So let's keep an eye on that one, because that one's a lot more, it seems, than speculation. Also, Jean-Michel Seri. Could he be on his way to Arsenal? We've spoken about him a lot. Even last season, Arsenal were interested in him. Unai Emery, when he was the manager at PSG, wanted to sign Seri. 100% wanted to sign Seri. Went to Nice to bring Seri in to PSG. The only reason he didn't sign him was because of the financial fair play rules. And because of those rules, he was unable to sign Seri. And in the end, he ended up getting Lassana Diarra on a free transfer instead. But Seri was the guy that he wanted. Now that he's at Arsenal, Seri's still available. He's got a £35 million release clause. Unai Emery, big admirer of him, would have seen him week in, week out playing over there in France in Liga and last season. Could Seri be on his way to the Emirates? There has been this thing where in the past, Seri apparently suffers from very bad chilblains, which is a condition that, you know, is not suited to cold weather. As said before, that he likes playing in countries that are warm because he this problem doesn't flare up. Of course, England is not a warm country, would be just sort of country where that condition would be flaring up a lot, you know, especially the damp conditions over here, but money can fix that, right? So could Jean-Michel Seri be on his way to the Emirates, particularly with all the speculation as well around Aaron Ramsey? Is he staying? Is he going? Even if Ramsey stays, Santi Cazzola's moved on. There is space in that midfield for maybe a Seri. As I said, Unai Emery is a big admirer of him. So again, watch this space on this one. A £35 million release clause. Could it happen? Finally, there's a player that we bought a couple of seasons ago. Japanese, Takano Asano, remember him? His little celebration. He's never actually played for Arsenal. These are one of those infuriating type of players that we've signed in the past. Well, he's been on loan at Stuttgart for 2 seasons. First season, he did really, really well. Last season, he hasn't done as great. He's struggled. 5 goals in 45 games. That's not great for a striker. Not great at all. But he's signed a new loan deal now with Hannover 96. So he's moving from Stuttgart, staying in the Bundesliga with Hannover 96. And he said he's looking forward to the challenge here. He's actually, at the moment, training with Japan, with their provisional squad over there, getting ready for the World Cup. But Takano Asano still not returning back to Arsenal, going on another loan move to Hannover 96. And I know you sit there and you wonder, why do we buy this guy? I don't know. I don't know. It's one of the infuriating things in the time gone by with Arsene Wenger, as I've said many times, was transfer dealings. It's interesting, actually, that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was asked yesterday about, you know, Emery, and he said he's really, really excited about Emery coming in. And he even admitted that, you know, things have stagnated a bit under Arsene Wenger, and he's looking forward to the new challenge, and it's a new, exciting time under Emery. So that's good to hear. So, great that we've got a great new manager in. I think we're all very happy and we're all very satisfied at the moment with the appointment. But will the board back him with the right amount of money to get the job done? That is going to be the real test. That is what we're going to find out. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to subscribe here to ArsenalFanTV for all of the excellent transfer news. Do not forget that throughout the summer, we're going to have Transfer Daily on. We're also going to be doing a lot of stuff around the World Cup. AFTV are going to be doing the World Cup. There's going to be a big announcements on that. We're going to be over there in Russia as well. So if you're going to want to catch up on the World Cup as a whole, this is the place to be on AFTV, as well as our daily transfer shows and our daily updates on all things on Arsenal, plus following all the Arsenal players at the FA Cup, at the World Cup, as well as the World Cup as a whole. If you want to find out about it, you want coverage on it, this is the place to be. Thanks for watching the show today, and we'll be back tomorrow.